He's here. Andrew, it's
Timmy, where's your
Monday.
hat?
Andrew, where's your tie? This is weird.
We weren't doing the in-person thing this morning, so I figured I could sleep in a little bit. I could
This
just
feels weird.
throw on a practically pastoring conference T-shirt.
It just
and
all feels so
not wear a tie.
formal. I mean,
Or informal.
I can't tell. Me with no hat feels formal. You with no tie feels informal. We're both informal. We're both in T-shirts. Laura is... Laura, you're keeping us company while she currently enters payroll, which sounds exhilarating.
I have never been happier to be a pastor.
Love you, Laura.
There are some like job things that real grown-ups do that I'm like, man,
Yeah.
I would not be good at that. That sounds like actual work.
But
I'd
Andrew,
rather read a book and then do a giant book report in front of a church once a week.
you had to do a real job thing yesterday.
I did, because yesterday was Sunday.
And this is the morning after.
Welcome to the Morning After Ministry Show, a caffeine-fueled look back on the week and ministry that was.
Are you saying the actual, like, doing church is the real job thing that I did yesterday?
You work one day a week, and you did your 1 day a
Yeah.
week work yesterday. I was
did.
really proud of you. City Lights, you're right. We both have T-shirts on, and neither of us are wearing our City Lights shirt. I actually love mine. I do wear it.
I wore mine last week. Here's the problem. Tim, I think, stole the shirt that was meant for me. He likes to wear the extra mediums. And
It's
so,
a large. I'm wearing a large. This is a large. This is a large right here.
The shirt that I have is a bit big for me these days, so I don't rock it. It's a around the house shirt, if you will, because
What size shirt are you
silly.
now?
This is large. This is, I believe, a Sunday Cool, because they did our practically pastoring shirts before
Okay,
we
good.
fell in love with.
I ordered you a large for this Saturday's Walk for Life at Lakeview, so I do have a T-shirt for you.
It's the first I've heard of it, but thank you.
That is not true. That is not true. You know very much about this event.
The first I've heard of me having a shirt ordered for me.
I actually have the shirt with
So-
me now. I have the shirt. It's very beautiful. And to Dan's point, no hat, no tie, still as handsome as ever. Andrew,
Danny Joe.
It's the
My
new
brother-in-law.
you.
It was his birthday this weekend.
Hey, Andy, the new you can rock T-shirts. Is that weird?
I'm trying.
I'm really, really proud of you.
I think this is also. Yesterday I was a bit more formal. I had a white shirt on instead of a regular plaid shirt, and
You did.
the-
I caught some of the live stream. I liked the opening. You mentioned the movie 300, but you didn't say, as a Christian, of course I didn't watch that film, so I'm assuming you've seen the movie 300 multiple times. I was hoping you would use that funny bit, which I think was in
didn't.
I don't remember if it was in my manuscript or not, but I had a bit about something like that when we did Esther.
If you watch the beginning, I had some great graphics.
Oh.
One was like the map, and one was a timeline. Once my manuscript was done, I went into chat and I said, "Hey," I highlighted the points. Like, I need a graphic for this timeline, and I want a graphic, and on the background and everything.
I like
And
that.
Chat is my new graphics producer. It
Well,
was great.
It's because of what happened last week. 2.0 came out. ChatGPT 2.0 Image Creator came out last week, and it is like blowing all the benchmarks out of the water. We've been doing some of our like slides and promotional graphics from Lakeview with it, and it's been fun. What we do though is we drop in our brand guide with our fonts, our logos, our style guide.
I don't have a brand guide.
And I say, stay within the brand guide, create this graphic, here's the info, and it just churns it out.
I mean, our graphic designer's dead. Is that what you're saying? That's a terrifying thing. That was
I mean,
real life.
I'm
college
wondering
major
if
for the past 30 years.
Chat could have probably created the brand guide that I currently have right now and done just fine.
Well,
What's interesting for you is you could drop your logo into ChatGPT and say, create me a brand guide. That way we can have consistent graphics across the board from here on out. And it will probably crank that out for you.
I
Just
probably
saying.
could. I put in 3 or 4 sermon series graphics that we've used before, and I said, hey, we're doing a series on Esther. We're calling it Unseen, and this is kind of the look.
She was seen. There's a couple of parts in that story.
I want it to look Persian, and it did the rest. I was look, I'm the one-stop shop around here, so I would spend hours trying to get the right graphics and things.
Andrew, we both have done the graphics thing for forever. We've had to.
Series.
Yeah.
And boy, oh boy, was that not the case. So I was very excited by that.
But can you imagine having these tools in student ministry? Like what that would have done? We were already like decent youth pastors, but we would have probably been like really good.
Tim, I think we were really good youth pastors because we were doing it together. We're like, all right, how do we sell this to other youth pastors as soon as we're done with it?
We wanted it to look good, sound good, because we knew other people were going to be using it, which is kind of the trick of making it good. Like you don't want to give someone crap, right? Like it's got to look good.
Because you can preach with a manuscript that's 80% there, and you can fill in the blanks in your head as you're going.
Yep.
You can't publish something that's 80% done.
No.
And so now that I am doing our student ministry as well, I go back to some of our old resources. I'm like, man, this is a really good resource, and I'm not just saying that. I would use this, and sometimes I do.
Andrew, sorry, my son's name is Aaron. I yell at him a lot.
Our show notes say
he's in pretty good shape. Our show notes are telling me a story that I don't know anything about. Apparently there's something wrong with your Xbox. What is happening here?
Tim, this was terrible. As you know.
How did you not text me?
My workout routine for the past year or so has been I jump on my walking pad and I play college football, always as my Liberty Flames. I have coached 30 seasons and then had to retire and then coached 30 more seasons. I just started my third dynasty in the 2026 version of college football. Thursday night, I don't remember what we were doing as a family. We were doing something. I came home. Oh, it was the draft. And so Luke, my third born, and I stayed at Buffalo Wild Wings until the Buccaneers pick was in, and the rest of the family went home. And I got home, and my two older boys were playing Xbox together. And Friday morning, I went to turn it on, and Timmy, it was dead. It was completely dead. Fortunately, we have one of the whole house warranties with Assurion, and so it's already out being repaired. But I tried to exercise this weekend.
Terrifying.
What do you do?
I don't know.
You exercise every day.
I do.
How do you do it without entertainment? Do you have the TV on? Do you have or do you like
the exercise that I do is video driven, so I follow a guy on a screen who yells at me for like 50 minutes a day.
That has zero appeal to me at all.
But you don't have to think about it.
Yeah,
my workouts
played Xbox?
You probably play Xbox you probably play for way longer than 50 minutes. Like 50 minutes is nothing for you. I only need 50 minutes because my intensity level might be a bit different.
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure it is. If my intensity level was that high, I would hurt something, and I'm trying to avoid that.
Mackenzie, I love this. The Buccaneer Bay video. Speaking of old school collabs, if you ever venture down the world of YouTube, I'm pretty sure we were both in mermaid costumes. I love that you remember that.
That was summer of 2013.
Jimmy, how was softball, buddy? I'm assuming you were crushing it yesterday.
In my pool before we moved into my house.
JC, why? The Colts? Come on. Get off the show. I'm going to call you later. You and I have a call at 2 p.m. today anyways. We'll chat, but come on. Colts? No, not. We'll talk about that later. City Light says, who could forget the red ring of death? Did you know that Microsoft replaced that for free? Like, you had to register. It wasn't like a well-known thing, but if you registered online, I got 3 brand new 360s because of red ring of death. So they did that. Fix it.
I had the PTSD flashback because Friday. So
Cowboys? Oh, come on, guys. What is happening?
Gross.
CJ says Tim still does Tybo with Billy Blanks. Oh boy!
Is that the guy who murdered somebody? Hey, Tim, someone's calling you.
Yeah, it's my friend Sam Rudkin. Should we get him on the call? We should live. I'll hang up. Although it would have been really fun to put Sam on the stream without him knowing anything about it. Wow, 14,
Yeah.
16, 6 hours. All right, Mackenzie says, Andrew, do the X90P Extreme plan. It's on the Lakeview Student Ministries page. She is just going down a rabbit hole.
You know?
They're all still there. Like I recently went to the Lakeview Student Ministries page. Like our videos that we created from 15 years ago, all still there.
I mean, we can probably find
Random
something and
NFL
drop it in the
teams.
show notes.
Come on, stop it.
But-
Stop it.
I don't know. Timmy, you were just talking about someone yesterday. How was your day yesterday? We spent a lot of time talking this week about you feeling terrible last Sunday. So you
It was weird.
came
It
with
was
a whole
weird.
new. You
I did.
got some IV injection.
I
you
did.
you got a massage. You did all of the things to recover. How did it go? How was yesterday compared to last Sunday?
Honestly, night and day. Night and day. You had texted me Saturday night. I was getting in bed when you texted me, which was 9:30. I never get in bed that early. I just thought, you know what? I'm going to go extreme. I got some Epsom salt for the hot tub. I dumped the Epsom salt in the hot tub. I was
What
so
does that
tired.
do to your hot tub? Are you going to mess up your filters and stuff?
No, it's okay. It's okay. I replace the filter weekly. So even if it does anything to the filter, it's not a big deal. I was super tired. So had a good sleep. I hydrated extremely well the night before and the day of. And I told the staff and my safety team, hey, I'm working on a new plan today. I want to keep my energy levels up. I'm going to retreat in between services. Like I'll still do my rounds, but for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just going to go to one of the classrooms. I've got a chair set up in there, a little desk. I brought a lunchbox. My wife packed me a note because I'm in kindergarten. So my wife packed
What
me a
did
little
it say?
lunchbox.
I love you this big.
It said some other things that I can't say on the air because she wanted to make me
That's
laugh, and it worked. It was really funny. And I had some simple carbs, rice cakes and peanut butter, just one rice cake and peanut butter in between each service. With Chat said to make sure you get the applesauce squeeze pouches. So like literally, I was a kindergartner downing a couple of the squeeze.
Like a marathon runner. Just
Yep. So I did a couple of those in between services, and like, dude, third service, I felt as good as first service. Was not even remotely tired. I lowered the coffee intake and upped the water intake. That was another big shift for me. Typically, it's heavy coffee Sundays. I just did.
See,
I did
my
2 cups
fear
of
would
coffee
be-
instead of my usual like 5.
if I was doing a lot of hydration the night before, I would be getting up to pee constantly, which would be an issue.
I didn't do the night, but I did have to
You
go
did-
before each
Tim,
service.
We were both bedwetters as children. We can talk about this. Did you have an accident?
I was worried
And
about
by
that
children,
because
7th grade for me, but whatever, it's fine. I'm over it
Oh,
now.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it happened to me in high school, so I was good. That was good. Had to go before each service, which is rare. Normally I'm like once on a Sunday morning, but this one, again,
And it
because of the
just
extra hydration.
Comes out looking like orange or citrus cooler Gatorade in sawdust because you've
yes.
got nothing but coffee in your system.
Right. But this one's different because I was putting in the hydration packets to stay unbelievably hydrated. So
Electrolytes and fluids. Wow.
that was the idea. Electrolytes, fluids, and simple carbs. I did do an overnight oats for breakfast, and it was very filling. So, I mean,
Tim, my Sunday morning was
I'm
very
happy to
different
share.
from your-
I'm happy to share the plan, Andrew. I think I had Chat like
You sent it to
export the
me.
graphic. You can read through that and do with it as you please. There might be a section you probably shouldn't read, but that's fine.
Timmy, as I was getting ready for bed on Saturday, I realized that this was the last Sunday of the month of April. And
Yeah, that's right.
Landon Larson, my firstborn, and I were at the grand opening of a donut shop in Feather Sound area a few months ago, and we eat a dozen free donuts per month for a year. The problem is that they're just the glazed donuts, and also at this life, I'm trying to not put 24 donuts on my kitchen counter because that would be unhealthy for me. And so I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go pick up 2 dozen donuts that my family wouldn't eat and bring them to church to put in the fellowship hall. So I left my house a little bit early. I got there. Tim, what donut shop does not have 2 dozen donuts ready at 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning? I had to wait like 20
they all have them
minutes to get
Sunday morning
donuts.
is prime donut day.
And it's in a part of the county where I don't think there's a church within 5 miles of them. It's lots of businesses and hotels.
That must be so weird for them.
Airport. And so I don't think there are people picking up donuts for churches. Most donut shops you go on a Sunday morning and it's just church people picking up donuts.
Yeah.
But
my Sunday morning growing up, no, that's all we have for breakfast.
Yeah,
every Sunday morning was
you get to church and you have the church donut.
Dozen Dunkin' Donuts waiting for me.
So now the donuts they gave me, they were hot, and it's Shipley
nice.
Donuts. If you are in Texas or one of the other southwestern states that has this great donut shop that has now made its way to Florida, so they gave me hot donuts, and I brought them to church and was immediately a hero. I was getting at quarter till my phone rings, and it's my third-born child who says, "Dad, this has never happened before. Someone brought Shipley Donuts," because our family loves Shipley Donuts. Because we go in Arkansas. I was like, "Yeah, buddy, that was me. That's why I left the house early this morning." So even my children were proud of me. But so you were doing simple carbs and hydrating and getting protein, and I was bringing
pounding sugar.
It turned out to be 30 donuts because they were smaller than usual, so they put 15 in the dozen box.
Yeah.
And so I was bringing dozens.
But Andrew, that is the difference between you got one service or
our church and your church.
No, like one service and multiple services. With one service, I don't know that I'd be doing anything. I'm good to preach for 45 minutes one time. Like that, I don't think that would it's the multiple times that really, I think, in our age, I will say a few years ago, I don't know that I was worried about any of this. But as we get a bit older, I'm feeling it a little bit more.
I mean, I preach one time, so I don't quite know what you mean. I'm sleepy on Sunday afternoon, but I also don't put myself to bed at 9:30 on Saturday night.
Are you up late Saturday?
Yeah, I am.
But
I don't.
But your arrival time, you're still getting 7 hours of sleep because of your arrival time.
Yeah, most weeks. I don't start working on my PowerPoint or Keynote until the rest of the family's in bed. That's my final read through, is putting together my slides, and I won't start doing that until the rest of the family's in bed. Just a weird thing that I do. Now, this week, I was up a little bit later because I was finishing season 1 of Percy Jackson with one of my
Percy
boys.
Jackson. Jimmy with the walk-off hit. Let's go. Brienne, thank you for... Brienne had my break room set up for me. She was very sweet. It was perfect. Like, honestly...
Yeah, I was going to say, what did you use as a break room? It's not like there's a lot of extra classroom space.
Classroom 1 is not used in between services, so I was able to sneak in there and then leave before anybody came in, because I think kids ministry starts in Student Center and they break off into smaller rooms, so I was able to do that. Jimmy says, wait until you're 56 or 57. Yes, I assume we will be feeling it a bit more in a few years. You're right. I think that's coming. Could have gone to the kitchen, but I think there's a lot of foot traffic in the kitchen. This way, safety team posted up outside. It was really funny. They guarded the door. I was like, guys, you don't have to do that. Like, people can if they got to get something, they can come in and get something. It's not a big deal.
Well, after the assassination attempt on Saturday night, they
were on high alert. Bree says, I did nothing different except not sit at my desk. Well, that was a big sacrifice, Bree. I'm thankful for that.
Oh, boy. Timmy, you guys...
I love it. I love it.
Welcomed a new staff member. You
this morning. This
very morning.
That's happening.
That's not like last week. This is fresh.
Like this morning, I went to bed last night trying to figure out my opening line for the new staff group chat. I don't know why I was thinking about that. And I wanted to get the graphic ready because every group chat that I'm in has a special circle graphic, especially if I pin it and I know it's going to be at the top. I want a pretty graphic. So I had the Lakeview staff group chat graphic ready. I had my text ready. It was 7:55 and I was like, oh, it's too early. I got to wait till 8 o'clock. So then at 8 o'clock.
So did you create a new group chat or just add him to an existing group chat?
Here's the issue. Androids.
Let me tell you, I get it.
There's just so many issues when you're
this last night, and Androids, man.
So I figured let's start fresh. We started a brand new group chat with our staff this morning. Did a little roll call. Everybody welcomed James to the staff group chat. We've got a congregational meeting coming up on Sunday where we'll officially announce him to the congregation. So, hey, if you're watching right now and you've been enjoying James on the team,
secret.
It's not really a secret. He started today. He accepted the offer. He'll be at staff meeting tomorrow. He and I are going to get together early in the morning and just spend some time together and make sure he's acclimated and has all of his questions ready to go. Thank you, Bree. She loved the new text message graphic. See, at least somebody appreciated it. Yes, JC says, dadgum green text boxes. Is that not like the absolute, I'm making this bigger, it's the absolute worst.
That's what we should have named this episode.
The dadgum green text boxes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Andrew, I was thinking about this morning when we were talking about show notes for the show. The onboarding process for churches is interesting. I think everybody probably has something a little different, and maybe it is different for part-time and full-time. We're going to be onboarding a full-time employee here in the next month or so. So that will probably look a little bit different than a part-time employee. But what do you think? What are some best practices when it comes to churches and their onboarding process? I've got some thoughts.
It's unique because in most jobs you start and it's like hey, take a few weeks, get your feet wet, learn the systems, learn the stuff. And then in churches it's like, hey, congratulations, by the way, Sunday's in 6 days. And it's like literally you have to hit the ground running. And so I think it's an acknowledgement of that, of this is different than any other workplace that you've ever been at and will probably ever be at, especially if someone has not worked in church world before. So there's a whole lot more here, but also Sunday is coming in 6 days. And so how do you get that part communicated? Fortunately for you, he's been volunteering for several months and knows the systems and stuff really well.
Super helpful.
I think crystal clear communication of what is expected. Here's what we expect out of you. And then hey, what do you need from me? Or what do you need from us needs to be the next part of that, because otherwise you get into the routine and it's been 3 or 4 weeks and you haven't checked in and this person is hanging on by their fingernails. Yep.
Some churches are really bad with accurate job descriptions. They'll just crank one out and never look at it again.
Most churches.
The job description needs to be pretty clear. Like, this is what's expected every week, so they have a good understanding of what they need to get done. And then as you get moving, you know this in church world. Yes, Laura, that's really good. Take a few weeks and learn the systems, said no boss ever. Yeah, exactly.
Let me just say for the record, I've never actually had a real grown-up job. I was a valet in seminary. Does that count?
In the church world, every job description should say other duties as required. Like, there needs to be a line in there where it's like, hey, there's going to be stuff that might be outside of your realm as student pastor, worship pastor, fill in the blank, kids director, whatever. And you're probably going to have to chip in from time to time. Like a couple weeks ago as a staff, after staff meeting, we all had to go reset the worship center, right? Because all the chairs were down from Easter and Palm Sunday. Mm-hmm. We were putting them all back up, getting the room looking good. And it was kind of an all staff, all hands on deck thing. Sometimes you do stuff like that on church staff, which may not have ever been in the job description, but you just pitch in and do it. A couple of more onboarding things, like on the admin side, like obviously, like all things payroll, like get that right the first time. We have fumbled this ball. Not really our fault. We outsource our payroll, and sometimes the company gets a little confused with things, and our new employees will get their first check and be like, "That's not right," and then it's like, "Oh, geez.
Why is this $12 or why is this $12,000?" Either extreme, not good.
No. So we've had to tweak that a couple times. I think we're doing better these days with the admin process of getting them set up for payroll and making sure everything looks good, sounds good. Getting your offer letters correct. Like, these are really important for a lot of reasons. I had to learn that one early on, making sure the offer letter looks good, because that's what the payroll company needs. That's what a potential mortgage company is going to use if you're hiring an out-of-state employee. Just saying.
Coming into town. Yep.
Mm-hmm. So all of those things. If you're on a Google Workspace like we are, which I love Google Workspace. If you're not, you probably should be. It's free for nonprofits, and you get so much free data to store all the things, and I don't know, hundreds of email accounts for free. So It's silly
Big deal.
if you're not on it. So thank you, Frank, who last year successfully migrated us over to Google Workspace. So I, over the weekend made sure James had his new work email, james@mylakeviewchurch.com. Shoot him an email. Tell him welcome to the team. Put that in there.
On it.
Everybody. Literally, I want everyone to email him right now. Welcome to the team. And then tomorrow we will officially welcome him into our first staff meeting, which will be sweet. There's got to be ways, like, you guys got to have ideas. Like, how do you celebrate the onboarding of someone new? It feels different than just like your typical business job, right? Like coming on board at a church just feels different, I think. Are you typing it? Why is your keyboard so loud? Did you put a microphone on that?
I didn't.
Do you have two microphones? Did you separately mic your keyboard?
I only have this one microphone right here in front of me, but it's
very powerful.
close to the keyboard.
It's very, very powerful.
What can I say? It is a powerful mic. I'm trying to decide which email address to send this from. I'm just going to go with Andrew at Safety Harbor Church.
Oh, are you emailing him right now? You're
yeah.
doing it. I
did it.
love it. I love it. Everyone we can test out his brand new email account, james@mylakeviewchurch.com. There we go.
I just sent him a welcome to the team. I don't know that I've
I
ever
probably misspelled that because I was typing it so fast, but I think you guys get the idea. My Lakeview Church. There probably should be an extra C there. You guys get the idea. So, onboarding process is fun. We've done it a few times. We'll do it a few more times this year, which is kind of cool. I think we're just trying to get a little better with it each time. Lead elder called me this morning to make sure we had everything ready to go for the onboarding. We also have a congregational meeting coming up on Sunday where we'll officially announce James. We'll also announce another fun hire that we will talk about this time next week.
But we can't talk about it today.
I'm very excited about it. It's going to be awesome.
Tim, is it kind of like Shake and Bake because I helped?
It's a lot like Shake and Bake.
I mean, it's not often that you get to vet somebody from a church that you've never actually worked at. I don't know how healthy it is, but whatever. It's cool. When you find
Bree
out
says, are we getting food?
Your...
Bree, should we do this? Should we get food for the staff meeting tomorrow? That way it's like a giant welcome party for James.
Bree, I heard breakfast burritos. That's what I heard. I heard breakfast burritos for everybody.
I mean, I'm all in. I don't know if you have Selah tomorrow or what. I mean, one of us can pick it up. We'll expense it on the church card and we'll enjoy a staff brunch together. I'm all in. I love it. Andrew, we've got a few things cooking and happening right now in Lakeview land. Some of which delicious. We can talk about. Some things. Some we will talk about very, very soon. There is something else that I thought was very interesting. It was in my head this morning, and I don't know if you've experienced this. So this is interesting. One of the things that I did intentionally in the hiring process with all my candidates was I gave them my cell number, all of our candidates, because I wanted to text them. Mm-hmm. The reason I wanted to text them was because I wanted to see their response time with text messaging. I don't know why. I was just curious. I have been texting some area pastors lately, and I'm wondering if we need to do like a study on this. Like, how long does it take people, like your average person, to respond to a text message? And then the follow-up question should be, what should the average response time be? I think most of us understand email, right? If it's not a weekend email, 24 hours is fine. Like 24 hours to respond to an email, no big deal. If it's a Saturday, Sunday, you'll respond on Monday. That's typically my routine. Not a big deal at all. But I thought with text messaging, it's interesting, especially if text messaging is your primary mode of communication, say with your team. How quickly do you want said
what is
team
the text
members?
Etiquette?
Yeah. So should there be? I guess maybe the better question is, should there be a policy on text messaging, especially when it's like team communication or direct to an employee? Thoughts, questions, concerns? It was a big deal for me hiring because I was like, I want to make sure that the person I'm hiring like checks their phone, respond. We are, as you know, remote based at Lakeview. We don't have offices. Mm-hmm. Our primary mode of communication right now is text message. So ideally, you're responding to text messages. So
then there's nothing worse than getting the phone call to follow up to a text message. But
City Light says you never texted me. Well, you live too far away. I was inviting area pastors to a lunch in a couple of weeks. If you lived closer, you would have gotten.
But
the
if you
text
want to come
too.
down from Scranton, PA, you could come. It'd be a whole lot of fun.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I mean, you want to get back to someone soonish, but also when do you not have to reply to a text? Like if you send out a group
Right.
text,
Yeah, that's true.
everybody to reply.
I don't think so.
That's the
I
thing
feel like
is-
in group text world,
text
especially if it's
etiquette.
if it's a blanket announcement, the assumption is you read it, right? Like I don't need a like or a heart on it. If it's like a group text to the staff, the assumption is you read the text. Great, see you whenever, right? If it's a direct text to you, you should probably I would feel like that might need
at least
some sort
like
of
it or something.
Yeah, I would think so. But some of the pastors I was texting, it was 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. Sometimes it's a week. One guy, it was like 13 days, and he'll respond like we just talked. And I was like, I had to literally go back into my history and was like, oh, right, what did I say? I had forgotten the conversation because it had been so long.
Yeah.
Andrew, I know we are very close. I don't know that it goes 3 minutes in between response with you and me, but what is your typical response time with not your one of your best friends? I think best friends in the world, that's a different thing.
That's different. Yeah. In general, though, if my phone is on me, I'll get it right away. The newest thing in my house is when my phone is on the charger, it doesn't make the noise. And so this morning or last night, Jeff had texted our group from the Practically Pastor podcast. I didn't see that until I woke up this morning. So
Here we go. This might be the one.
Charger.
Andy, look at this. CJ says, what is the age range for each different response time? Here's what's funny, CJ. The younger the pastor, the longer the response time.
Yeah.
So the younger the pastor I texted, the longer it took them to respond. So is this a generational gap that I now need to get used to and understand, but then also set expectations with future staff or future whatever? I don't know.
Will we get canceled if we say the people that have never dealt with real actual work related stress are the ones that emphasize work-life balance the most? Is that bad to say?
It's very boomer-ish.
But no, I think there is a...
Okay, here we go. City Light says, I keep my phone in do not disturb except for a few contacts. Fair?
Okay.
Fair?
But still, if you got a text a week ago, you've seen it.
I would think so.
So I also think it depends on the issue. I think the texting local area pastors is different than texting staff. I think...
Agreed.
I don't think you have a staff policy because some text etiquette you just want to be organic and this is how people communicate, this is how they are. But hey, if I'm texting you within business hours, I expect you to get back to me within business hours because
That's
even though we are not physically in an office together, you're still getting paid right now. You're still at work, whether or not you are physically on the church campus for this right now. And if you can't get back within business hours, we need to reevaluate whether or not you're going to be able to be a remote employee. And so that's got to be
fair.
part of it.
City Lights does not keep
local
their
pastor
phone
doesn't-
in the bedroom.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people
That's a thing as well.
Yep. Mine's my alarm clock, so I like the
Yeah.
nighttime mode where it shows the time. CJ says I can't deal with the red dot. Bree, this is pretty good. I feel like this is almost my policy personally. She says if I'm spending time intentionally with Selah, that's her daughter, my phone's probably in another room, so it may be an hour or hours, but I'll typically respond day of. That's me. So if I'm, with my son or we're doing a thing or it's a sports thing, whatever, I'll probably respond within a few hours, but it's typically same day. My general rule is for text messages, same day response. For emails, 24 hours is okay. Now, for certain people, I know
It's
if
immediate.
if I have an elder texting me, you just have to know the hierarchy, right? If my wife is texting me, if Andrew is texting me, if that's the order, my wife, Andrew, and an elder, those are my top three. I know.
Take that, elders.
I know. I'm going to need to respond pretty much immediately because it's probably going to be urgent.
Well, and if you don't respond to me, I'm going to find my iPhone. I'm going to find out where you are. I'm going to drive to you and make sure you're not dead. And after the third time, you've learned to reply to text messages. I get that.
CJ says, I keep my watch on. If it's not an emergency, it can wait. I'm with you there. You're thinking like for like an average church member texting you on something. I did get a text on Saturday, and it was kind of a family day, but they said, hey, I do need to call. Something just happened. Like for me, I'm like, you know what? That needs 15 minutes. So I did step out, took the call, and it was pretty serious. So I agree. Like read the text. If you feel like it's an emergency, like take it, respond. Or you can even let them know, hey, saw it. I'll get back to you soon. Whatever the question is, I don't know. Texting is just different than email to me. But again, that could just be an age thing.
I always think of, there's a John Acuff quote. This is probably 10 years ago now. And he was talking about how our phones have made us feel like we are all always on call.
I know.
And, it used to be that only the doctors have the beepers that, you needed to get a hold of them immediately. Yeah. And so by having our phone, by having our work email on our phone in our pocket, it makes us think that everything is an emergency. And so I get that. Mm-hmm. And the generations coming up behind us they're better at saying, no, this isn't, I'm going to space my time out. This is not what that is. But again, with church staff things, when you don't have an office space, when you don't have 40 hours a week that you're in the same space and can communicate, then I think it's a different thing where it's hey, I need you to get back with me by the end of day at least, because there are work decisions being made. Again, if it's a local pastor that I've met 3 times at a networking event, sometimes, Steph, I'm still not as high as you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you were clearly number one. I said that. She just likes how you're up there near the top. I didn't say he was the top. I just said he's near the top.
But I am higher than your kids. So
of course. CJ says, who gets the first response if the text comes through at the same time? Steph, it's whichever one.
It depends on the topic. Depends on the topic.
Whichever one I hit first, like just impulse, that's probably who's getting the first response, CJ. I'll be honest with you there. And also, definitely depends on the topic.
Timmy, there's something else we wanted to talk about before. Like, this was not in our show notes. We were just talking as we were setting up the stream. We've got a buddy who just defended his doctorate dissertation. His church is celebrating him.
I cannot wait. We're both going.
A couple of weeks. We're both going. We both get to be a part of it.
Yes.
And
shout out to Adam Powers.
Is celebrating you at the end of June. We were kind of discussing the ordination process a few weeks ago and what that looked like. And that is being done on a Sunday night specifically so that other pastors can be there. You were asking me about what my church did when I finished my doctorate, and we had a big church to do, but we also do a big eating thing as a church every week, and so that was kind of part of that. So we were talking about, like, hey, as a church, when do we throw an event that is just for our church, and when do we do something where we want to include partner churches or things like that?
Especially if you want to include like ministry friends. That was my only thing with yours because I wanted to be there, but I think your celebration was on a Sunday morning, so I was like, it was
a Sunday morning that started at 11. So, what could you do? It's a tricky thing because, again, you want as many of your church people to be there as possible, and your church people are there on Sunday mornings, but also in our line of work, our colleagues, a lot of them don't work at the same church as us, therefore don't worship at the same church as us and can't be a part of things.
We all work on Sundays, so we're never available on Sunday mornings.
Which is why it's so unique when you actually went, like Good Friday, when we got to be together for a church service because Frank was preaching and we got to sit together. And
we sat in the same row.
Once a decade, maybe.
We never get to do that.
The last time I think I was at a service with you or a church event with you was when there was a major crisis at your church and I was showing up for emotional. So you'd much rather show up for the big happy things than the, oh crap, the problem thing. But you also want your own people to be there. So how do you decipher? How do you plan?
Yeah.
I
was thrilled when I got the invite to Adam's graduation party because I saw it was a Sunday evening, and I know that Steph and I had already had a trip planned, but we were planning on coming back that day anyways. But we could make it back 2 hours earlier to be there for our friend Adam. When we were planning
Where are you guys going?
There's a resort, I think it's like 50 minutes south of St. Augustine. It's our anniversary weekend. It's also my parents' anniversary weekend, so they said, hey, would you guys like to tag team, do a little double anniversary trip? And like,
double anniversary date.
Yep. So we'll do a little Friday night, Saturday night. Frank's preaching on Sunday, and then I'll be back in time for Dr. Adam Powers.
Reverend Doctor,
and his celebration. So when we were planning out my ordination and you were in the room, we were thinking, should it be a Sunday morning? Should it be right after church? And then we all kind of said, well, if we want to be at it, we all work at different churches, then it needs to be not a Sunday morning. So a Sunday night makes the most sense. Again,
does that mean that you're going to lose out on 40% of the congregation?
Yep.
Now,
it does.
Adam's church, they do Sunday evening services.
Yep.
Correct?
That's right.
So
for them, it's a normal time. So instead of doing their normal Sunday service thing, it'll just be the celebration for Adam thing. So that's a little bit different. For us at Lakeview, we will probably lose a percentage of people, but that's okay. I think the ones who like really want to be there will show up. Otherwise, not a huge deal. If you got something going on, no big deal. City Light says, I'm going to Disney end of June. Hot.
It'll be hot. It won't be as hot as July or August.
But
it will be as hot as September.
Are they still doing the deal where if you stay on site and you check in on site, you get the 1 day water park free?
Water park day. Yes.
I mean, June is the perfect time to take advantage of that. Bree, this is kind of what we were thinking too. If we don't do it on a Sunday morning, it means our people can actually fit. 40% less means we don't need another tent. Right now,
that's
Lakeview can't hold one. We can't hold one service. Like it just isn't going to work.
How many people just in a congregation the size of Lakeview's?
Yeah.
How many people are like, oh, Tim's not ordained yet, or because how many people understand what the ordination process is? How many get the kind of big deal this is?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know that there is a. I don't know what the equivalence would be in any other.
Hard to explain.
So,
Steph says, I think it'll be special. No one's forced to be there. Only people who truly want to be there. I think that's kind of the idea too. When you do remove it off of a Sunday morning, then it's like, hey, if you want to be there, you'll be there. Sunday morning is like, oh, I'm already here. I'll just stick around for it. Which again, that's okay. Yeah. It's not something wrong with that. Yeah. But it's not quite as special as I'll have to like make an effort or come back. It's a separate thing. It's
Are we
honestly
wearing suits for this thing?
I thought we were wearing robes. Robes.
Like the morning after ministry bathrobes that you've always wanted to order. That's what we're going to wear.
Yes, finally they're going to be here.
I would say
I do
not have clerical robes. I have academic robes, but they're the generic ones because the actual ones
we
from
could
the
get
university
fancy.
were $1,000 to buy.
Suits would be fun.
Suits no tie, tie no suit. We should start a group chat.
Just a tie? That's inappropriate. Like you better be wearing something besides a tie.
No, I'll wear pants. But
and there it is. We're an hour in. We're officially unhinged. Both of us just got fired.
We're officially wearing pants. But yeah,
okay. Robes of righteousness. Laura's gonna have those custom made for us after she finishes payroll.
A pretty interesting thing. Just trying to figure out how to best get the most people. So maybe you kind of get a dress rehearsal in the Powers-a-thon here in a couple of weeks. That's what I was thinking too.
Well, we'll all be there, so we'll get to see kind of how it looks, how it goes, and then mine will be a little bit different as an ordination should be than just a graduation party.
What announcements are you making to the congregation? When are you making announcements to the congregation?
We will. I think that's why Sam was calling. Again, one thing we forgot to discuss is it'll be in the congregational meeting this Sunday. We'll announce, hey, the ordination service for Tim is going to be end of June. Everyone's invited, but we'll probably have to do like an RSVP so we have an idea of like, hey, do we have enough room? I think we'll be fine. I don't think, like you said, I honestly don't think that many people really understand what it means. Like we'll try to explain it, but that's okay. Like those who truly know what it means and want to be there, and it's like they'll be there. That's fine. Like it's not my feelings are not hurt at all.
Timmy, I was just looking at the notes. You did another wedding this weekend.
We haven't even talked about this.
That
It
is
has been
a lot of weddings.
Andrew, I did in 30 days what I think we typically average a year, right? Usually we do like 4 or 5 weddings a year. It's fun, every other month or so, every other month sometimes, depending on the season. And all of a sudden it's been, and these are not like random weddings. These are Lakeview people coming to me saying, we want to get married. Some of them are like, we don't want to live together anymore. Like, we want to get married now. So then it's like, oh, okay, let's get married tomorrow. I almost love those.
They still want to live together. We want to
live together.
Yeah.
We really want to live
Yes.
together. We want to make this thing legal and
Yes,
in
I
good
get-
standing in the eyes of God and the state. So there's been a couple of
Yes.
those. And there's been a couple of just traditional, 9 months ago they reached out. We went through the whole premarital process, which, as you know, is no small task. That's a couple of hours a month with each couple leading up to it for 5 or 6 months in a row. So over the last 30 days, maybe it's a little over 30, but I've done 4 weddings. And what was funny is, like, on my way,
4 weddings in 4 weeks, essentially.
on my way to the wedding, I got the schedule for the next wedding in May, which is in Central Florida somewhere at, I guess, a pretty nice place that like made me
Someplace pretty,
sign.
I'm assuming.
I had to sign a bunch of waivers that saying if I got hurt that they're off the hook. And I'm like, what am I? I've never had
Are
to
there
sign.
alligators involved?
I don't know.
I've signed a marriage license. I haven't signed a waiver.
I have signed
to do a wedding.
many marriage licenses. I've never had to sign any sort of release of, liability waivers. So that sounds fun. But it was interesting because I was literally getting that info. I was signing it on the way to the wedding. I'm like, wow. So this will be like this calendar year, these 12 months, whenever it started. I think I started the wedding.
January.
Well, no, I think I started the wedding frenzy in November. So
okay.
I want to count like when the wedding frenzy began. It'll be like November to November. Like, I will probably do double digit, if not, it'll be double digit weddings.
Yeah.
Which, Andy, for some people, that's more weddings that they will attend in their entire life, which is just
For most people go to 2 weddings before their own and 3 weddings after their own, is the statistic that I've read recently.
So I passed that in 2 months.
Yeah.
Is this our life? Do I just have
at-
to expect like this is like we're going to be doing a lot of weddings? I don't see anything slowing down. I'm trying to figure out how to make the
in a
time
wave
for these.
Of former youth group kids from my previous church that were 8th, 9th grade when we left, but still consider me to be their youth pastor. They have 6 or 7 of them have gotten engaged in the past, let's say, year. And so I'm starting to get all of those. And it's hey, this is a kid that I've kept up with online, but don't, not part of their day-to-day life. And so I'm signing up for all of those weddings. Which one can I travel to? Which ones, I would love to be a part of your wedding if it's local.
Exactly.
I have a church that I am loyal to, and I need to be here for the weekend. And also, one of the things that and as someone who got married and had a ginormous wedding, when you are getting married, it's the most important day in your life. It's the most important thing on your calendar. And
Absolutely.
You just kind of assume that it is all-encompassing for everybody else's calendar for that weekend as well. And as the pastor kind of parachuting in and parachuting out to do these weddings, I'm like, man, how can I get in and out in 2.5, 3 hours tops? I still have to preach tomorrow morning. There's
a lot of Saturday weddings.
There's a lot of things. Yeah. And in the seasons when there's a lot, it's like, okay, how do I communicate to these people that I am so excited and honored to be a part of your day, but it is part of my day. It cannot be my whole entire day.
Right.
And that is a different thing because for them, it's not just their whole entire day. It's their whole entire week. It's the all-encompassing thing for them.
It's a big deal. For me, if I can be at the reception, I would love to be, but it just doesn't always work out. So I tell the bride and groom well in advance if I can make it or if I can't. Yes. Obviously, with the out-of-town weddings, the out-of-state weddings, I've done a couple of those. I try to line up a guest preacher the next day. Unfortunately, the one in May did not work out. I wasn't able to get a guest preacher in time, so I'm like, I got to come back immediately after the ceremony, which is a bummer because I was planning on staying and doing the reception and just kind of celebrating the couple. But it is what it is, right? Some you can attend, some you can't. Obviously, if the wedding is not a Saturday, it's a bit easier. Bree, good point. She says also time to consider having a set fee. Andrew, is this something you do? Do you have a set fee or do you leave it up to the couple?
I typically leave it up to the couple just because I suck at having that conversation. But boy, oh boy, the set fee would be easier because I think the two most inflation-proof things on the universe are the pizzas in Home Alone that are still the exact same price for a large pizza now,
right?
And a wedding honorarium. I mean, the crisp $100 bill in your hand looks good, feels good, but doesn't quite spend the same way that it did 5 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. And so I think especially if it is a church wedding, like at your church, when you can have the built-in fee, that makes it easier. But if you're doing a wedding at a park, on the beach, wherever it may be, that's a little bit trickier of a thing.
Agreed.
I've thought before, hey, do I put something on church letterhead with a fee structure? Hey, if Dr. Larson is doing premarital counseling, if we're doing the if we're doing a rehearsal, if it's a destination, do we?
Yep.
Can I say to my elders, hey, elders, will you approve this? Because then it's an official church policy, and I can say to people, hey, this is the official church policy.
Sure.
And I think they would. But otherwise, if someone asks you, it's that awkward conversation, and they know what they're paying per head to get, a plate of food at the reception. And so sometimes they'll be like, hey, and as a thank you to you, we want you and your wife to come to the reception. To which I want to say, oh, thank you. So it's another 3.5 or 4 hours of my Saturday night before I preach on Sunday morning as a thank you. Again, if this is a couple that I know and love, absolutely we want to be there to celebrate you. But I know what you're paying the DJ. I know what you're paying the videographer. None of this is legal without my signature.
Frank says $300 and they pay through the church. So I do have a set fee through the church. And it's just there. It's actually more than that, Frank. But I mean, I'm just saying. I think that's kind of low. I do have a set fee through the church. It's more than $300. If it's not through the church, I get it. Like Bree's, like you should have a set fee. It's no different. I hear the arguments here. I don't know if I struggle with the conversation or if I don't give you a set fee, maybe you're feeling very generous.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There have been those moments where I'm like, had I given you a set fee, I would have been given a whole lot less than what you just gave me. Is that bad? Is that bad?
There are funerals.
Sometimes it'll be lower, and that's okay. It'll be lower, and that's okay. But like the average is actually a whole lot higher when I don't give a set fee. So it's a weird spot to be in. There are some families who they felt like the value was very high. And I'm very thankful they felt that way. You know what I mean? Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Frank says if I'm getting Tim's looks, he's definitely worth $600. Thanks, Frank.
I was trying to explain to one of my sons that there are some families that when they ask you that question, you give them an answer right away.
Yeah.
And there are other families that you well, I'm like, do you know what? It's kind of which is why the church policy, it's, I get it. It's 6 and 1, half dozen and the other.
Bree's like, as long as you're not getting stiff. I don't ever have to worry about that. That's not the issue at all.
Yeah. But also, if it's through the church, does that mean that it is at the church?
Yes.
Versus it's at the barn at Crescent Lake or whatever that venue is called. And so then is the venue taking care of it? And again, funerals are a similar thing. If it's at the church versus if it's at a funeral home, sometimes the funeral home will take care of things. It's a very odd thing that there really should have been a seminary class to prepare us for, because I don't know
I know.
what other occupation has to have this conversation of, hey,
Well,
you know
someone,
that thing that only you are allowed to do.
yeah. Someone
Can you
today was like, "Hey,
imagine
that's not really a part of your job, is it?" I was like, yes. Like weddings and funerals are absolutely part of my job. Like I need to do these things. I was like kind of
And
baffled
it's
when like someone said this to me. I was like, do you not understand? Like this
every
is
church
like part of the pastor's
job
life.
description you ever look at has weddings and funerals in there. But then the other part of that is, okay, well, we're part of the church and we tithe to the church, so why is there a fee?
I know.
So
Frank says, and this is a true point here. Funerals are so much easier than weddings.
So much easier.
It's because there's just a very different
6 months planning a wedding.
The expectation is different.
6 hours planning a funeral.
Yeah. Like you'll sometimes you'll have a 3-day notice.
You don't have a Pinterest board about what your funeral is going to look like, or what your mom or what your grandma's funeral is going to look like. You want someone with expertise to come in and make the hard decisions for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I get that.
Totally.
Very, very
every now and then,
that.
I will say, you'll get the church member who knows they're going to die at some point. This happened to me a couple years ago. He said, "Tim, I'm going to die," and he was like 4 years away from dying. Like he just passed away. He said, "Hey, can we meet? I'd like to tell you about me because I want you to preach my funeral." And I was like, "You know what? I'd love to do that." So that's what we did. Like we met. He gave me the full life story. Another couple did this too. They're still living. I saw them on Sunday. But 3 years ago, they sat down with me, gave me their full life story. I have a folder in my Dropbox. I've got all their info. They said, when we pass away, we want you to do our funeral, but here's all of our info now, so you know us, and then you can preach our funeral, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it says, hey, these people have a lot of faith in me, and they're going to stick around at our church for a long time. That's a huge win.
Laura says, killer idea. Tim works this out, then writes his doctoral dissertation on it. Oh, that's terrifying. Terrifying.
I mean,
here we go. You never know what you're going to get from Earl, which is why I just love reading his comments out loud. If I'm going to put in my will that if Andrew does my funeral, he gets 10%. Look at this. I mean, this is the most next level ever.
Yes, but then I also have to marry his wife, which I don't think my wife would be a big fan of. But
10% and my wife.
In the vast majority of human history, that would be a wonderful way to protect your wife. Hey, Anthony Allen Campbell, you need to know that I'm going to be in DFW for 36 total hours.
Wow, you actually told someone. Last time you went, you told no one.
Letting them know. I'm going to be in DFW for 36 hours from next Friday, so not this coming Friday, but next Friday until next Saturday, for a Dallas Seminary graduation that I have to be at.
Really proud of you. Are we having a party?
It's not super wide.
Can it be a Sunday night so I can attend?
No, this is not that kind of this is a, hey, Andrew, you can go back and get another master's for just a few hours, and you can have a palate cleanser because your seminary GPA was terrible, and you can feel a little bit better about yourself.
Melissa would probably appreciate the help.
From my first seminary class, it was
Frank,
world mission.
I'm gonna be in DFW tomorrow. What are you doing? What's happening?
Should we have all met up in DFW?
I don't know, Frank. I'm in DFW Tuesday night and Wednesday night. If you're interested in a funeral and cemetery convention, I could probably get you a pass to come in and look at all the caskets. It'll be sweet.
I can give you guys some great recommendations of places.
Andrew Earl said his wife will pick you up and drop you off from the airport. That's very kind of him. He volunteered his wife as tribute.
Rented, and my flight lands at 8 a.m. and I have to be in South Dallas for a chapel at
I knew about that Converge thing, Frank. That's right.
Converge worldwide.
Converge, baby.
I don't know why it is that when we are in person, these things go 40 minutes. And they're like, all right,
sounds like a killer. Oh, that's good. That's good. Frank, the next Converge thing that I'm doing is in Montana, and I'm fly fishing for a week, and it's a guided tour. They paid for. Should I be talking about this? I don't even know.
Yes, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I got an invite. They said we invited a couple of pastors. It's fully paid for if you can get here. It's a pastor's mini retreat. We're gonna take you fly fishing. We have an exclusive resort for you. You'll be there. It's a Monday through a Friday. My only question was, is there a gym on site? And they said yes. It's a very nice gym on site.
When are you doing
They said
this?
they said go fly fishing or don't. Just stay and relax. Read a couple of books. Get some studying done. Andy, I didn't know what to say. I talked to my wife. She's like, I think you need to go. And I was like, I think I need to go too. So I'm going.
When?
I'm going. Hang on, let me get the dates. It is July that's June. Hold please. This is going to be so crazy. July 13 through 17. My kids will be at high school camp, so they'll already be at camp.
Okay. I'm in Arkansas that week, so I won't miss you that badly.
Should we do this show live from Arkansas and Montana?
From Arkansas and Montana? Will you be in Montana by, I think that's 9 a.m. Mountain Time. It'll be 10 a.m. Arkansas time.
We'll do a special episode that week. It won't be 11 o'clock. It'll be a very special episode.
A very special episode of the Morning After Ministry. Ooh, and then we could have like
Great.
Montana music playing, like from something from Yellowstone.
Should I tell them I've never done any type of fishing ever in my whole life, let alone fly fishing?
I can't even do the kind like where you have the reel where you have to flip the thing over to cast. I can do the push button cast. I can do that.
Sure.
But you have been fishing. I've been shark fishing with you.
I watched. I didn't. We're ending on that note.
You didn't do any shark catching, but you did some shark fishing.
Look, it's 12:17. We've got lunch to eat.
It is time for lunch. Hey, one of these days we'll be in person together again, and
Maybe.
I can't wait. But then we'll see you next Monday right here.
Miss you already.
Morning After Ministry.
See you soon.
Bye, y'all.